Some 5,000 years ago, on the islands of Japan, during the Jomon period, a unique earthenware culture flourished, known for its dynamic design. The flame-like patterns around the rims of the pots, which reflect vividly this historical period of religious and mythological importance, suggest that the pots may not have been used as vessels in the normal sense. The mid-Jomon period in particular saw the appearance of an unusual type of earthenware vessel. The undecorated rim is perfectly flat, a feature which makes these pots quite different from others of the period, and which suggests a special type of use. Around the rim is a protruding ledge with evenly spaced holes along the upper edge. Wild grape seeds have occasionally been found in these vessels, leading some historians to believe that they were used for storing grain or producing wine. There was also a theory, based on examples from other cultures worldwide, that the pots were in fact a kind of drum. However, without any positive evidence to support this theory, with time it lost currency. When percussionist Toshi Tsuchitori saw one of the pots in a museum exhibition, he intuitively knew that it had to be a drum, and made up his mind to reproduce it and prove himself right. Soon he was joined by a team of archaeologists and potters who were attracted by his theory. Using clay found in the same area as the original pots, they also employed the same coiling technique as had been used in the Jomon period. Here they are applying rope-shaped patterns to one of the pots. In fact, the name Jōmon means precisely that, rope pattern. About 250 pots of this type have been discovered in Japan to date. The Tsuchitori team produced a number of replicas in a variety of sizes, the largest about 60 centimeters, roughly 2 feet high. The pots were decorated with the extremely unusual and artistic Jōmon designs. With the coming of spring, the pots were fired in the open air, again using the authentic ancient method. The pots were covered with branches and fired for several hours at a temperature of about 800 degrees centigrade, or roughly 1500 degrees Fahrenheit. Many ancient finds show signs of having been stained with a red dye, and some of the replicas were coloured with rust in a similar way. One can well imagine the use of these pots in ancient ritual. Finally, the skin goes on the drum. Before applying the skin, objects such as seeds, small stones, or as in this case horse chestnuts, are placed in the pot as the sound spirit of the drum. The deerskin to be used for this drum was tanned by Tsuchitori himself using a stone knife. The skin is held in place with wooden plugs in the holes around the rim of the pot. Once the wet skin dries taut, the drum is complete. After more than 10 years of research and another year to produce the replicas, the scene is now set for a performance using 13 earthenware drums plus primitive wind instruments made of clay and stone. Tsuchitori dedicates the music to the native people of the islands of Japan. The performance was held from 2 a.m. till daybreak in the open square characteristically reserved for such rituals in Jōmon-era villages. The tension of the drumskins is kept constant by the heat of the fire. In one sense, this project is an attempt to reach back towards the roots of Japanese culture. At the same time, it is also Tsuchitori's personal stand against the trend towards ever more formulaic regularity in modern music.